Right, let's get into some of these calls. First up, we've got Mark, who is a Manchester United fan. What do you want to talk about, Mark?
Hello, how you doing, Mark? Are you okay?
Not really. I've got quite a few things I want to get off my chest, but I thought I'd start off with a caller.
I'd just like to say thank you for having me on the show, and I love your podcast. I think we need to put the Glazers to one side. We can't keep using it as an excuse as a Manchester United fan. We do need to support Erik ten Hag. We've invested in him. We've interviewed him. We've seen that he has got the credentials to be successful. I know the performance was rubbish today. And I just want to hear your opinion, really.
Well, look, I want to ask, before I give you my opinion, Mark, what disappointed you? You said we can't blame the Glazers, we can't blame Ten Hag. So from that game today, Brighton, what I saw, I think we should have had a goal. I don't think the technology is there to say that the ball hasn't crossed the line, but take that out of it. They've absolutely played us off the park at Old Trafford. They were better than us. They had better players. They had a better team. They had a better system. They had a better coach. So who and why has that happened today? What is the problem with that team?
Well, you can blame them. I guess you have to blame the manager and the coaches. I mean, these guys come in every day. They get a salary. They drive in every morning. They have to come in at a certain time. They have to train to a certain standard. What I saw at the press conference with Ten Hag is he looked buoyant. He looked confident. And I'm not seeing that much last season. I've seen it this season. You can see he's got that fire in his belly. You can see he's got the look in his eyes that we're going to do well. And I thought we'd do well today. I guess you have to blame the manager and the coaches, but do you have to accept that we are not up there with Man City, we are not up there with Brighton, and we are not up there with Arsenal at this moment in time? Whether we're going to get to that standard, it remains to be seen. It's easy to say, get rid of Ten Hag, sack him, get somebody else, but then it's another process, isn't it? I don't know.
Thanks, Mark, for opening up the show. I think where I would disagree with Mark is that I think 100%, and I know rival fans will hate this, but I don't stick my nose into Everton's business about their ownership. 100% I put the blame on the Glazers. And you know why? Even if you want to just look at the game today, Brighton are tiny compared to Man United. Fan base, stadia, reputation, but they're miles ahead of Manchester United. And why? It's not just because De Zerbi put on a good show today. He made 5 or 6 changes. He's got a system. He's got a group of players that understand that system. They're consistent, they're dogged, and they are focused. And on top of that, he's got director of football, scouts, club owner. From top to bottom, that club is well run, and it reflects what you see on the football pitch. The same at Manchester City. Arsenal were in the wilderness for over a decade. They sort things out. They bring in Edu. They start looking at how they can back the manager. They remove people like Aubameyang, and suddenly Arsenal perform. There is a very, very big correlation between how your club is run at the top and how it performs on the pitch. Absolute fact. So you might be bored of that as a United fan. You might be bored of that as a rival fan, but I'm sorry, it's a fact. Manchester United on the pitch over the last decade reflects what's been going on off the pitch. The silly wages, the terrible recruitment, the waste of over £1 billion, the debt, the ownership, the whole lot. Look at what Man United have had to deal with over the last 2 weeks. You've got the Anthony issue, the Sancho issue. You've got Gareth Southgate creating a Harry Maguire issue, which is bloody ridiculous. I mean, I heard Gabby earlier saying that Maguire should play. I mean, Gabby Agbonlahor is your biggest shout out, Harry Maguire. You really are in trouble. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure Harry Maguire just wants to be left alone and focus on trying to win his shirt back, considering he's only played 20 minutes this year and his 5th choice centre-back. There is so much noise around Manchester United, and the noise now is going to be Ten Hag needs to lose his job. Absolutely not. That's the worst thing we could do. We've been here with Solskjaer, Mourinho, Van Gaal. Now is the time to back the manager. The only change that needs to happen at that club, and the only change that's going to get United anywhere near a Liverpool or an Arsenal or a Manchester City, is to remove the ownership and rebuild that football club from the top so that it makes a difference at the bottom. We were terrible today. Brighton deserved the credit. I want to see more credit for Brighton. United were terrible, but it's not like this hasn't happened. I've seen Man United not picking midfielders up in the box for the last 5 years. Predates Ten Hag. We're an awfully bad run football club with awful discipline. Liverpool today, Aston Villa today, Manchester City today, Spurs today, all of them went 1-0 down. All of them fought back. Man United went 1-0 down. I knew it was over. Every United fan knew it was over. We don't have that mentality in our football club. 4 other clubs today do. Manchester United don't. It's as simple as that.